What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the PPL team building videos. Now, I know that I said that there was no videos this week. Remember how I'm stupid in like 7 different ways possible? I got my weeks mixed up, and the week break is actually after this week. So, I'm hoping to have the videos up in time. This week, we might be battling Saturday night at 9:30, so chance of it getting uploaded right away are kind of sort of slim to zero, so that sort of sucks, but if we do battle tonight, which is Friday at 9:30, then I'll definitely have it up on Saturday. But anyway, we are playing Stevo and the Eterna City Enders. I've been in 3 leagues with Stevo now. Haven't played him once, so this is the first time I'm ever playing him, and he has a really, really cool team. I love his team. Just because it's unique, you know. His team is Clefable, Scizor, Mega Abomasnow, Chandelure, Slowking, Pangoro, Zygarde, Rotom Wash, and Caracosta. So, he has a Dragon Fairy Steel Cord that's actually pretty intimidating because it's Scizor, which is very powerful. Zygarde, which is very powerful whether it's set up, banded, coil, it's just scary in general. He has a Fire, Water, Grass core that is actually really cool because his Grass is 4 times weak to Fire. He has a Flash Fire user, so that's really awesome. And he has 2 bulky Water types, one of which can be his Electric type Pivot, so it's kind of sort of difficult to build around his team. However, I built a team. I'm not going to say that it's a great team because every other time I say that, I lose. I don't like that shit, so having to be a little unique. Looking at his team, though, the biggest threat for my team is Pangoro. Did not know, I have about 0 switch-ins. Like, the literal amount of 0 switch-ins to Pangoro. So, if he brings that every time it comes in, he gets a kill. Which is scary. Don't really know how I'm going to beat it, to be 100% honest with you. I'm hoping I can beat it with my first Pokemon, and that is a Azumarill. Now, real quick, I know what you're instantly thinking. How are you going to beat a Dark and Fighting type with a Fairy type that gets access to Gunk Shot? With the Kebiaberry, I'm running a Jolly Natured Azumarill with 44 in speed, 4 in defense and special defense, max attack, and 204 in HP. I wanted as much HP as possible while being able to outspeed a 2-point invested Clefable. So that's what I did. So I can outspeed Clefable no matter what with this thing, and that's always nice. Play Rough, Knockoff, Aqua Jet, and Iron Tail. Play Rough is there for Pangoro. The Kebiaberry, I can live a Gunk Shot or a Poison Jab. It does a maximum of like 70% to me through the Kebiaberry, which is insane to think about. So if this thing takes a hit from anything, I kind of just lose to Pangoro. But the good thing is, that 70% is if he's banded. And if he's banded, I have a lot that can outspeed it, and I have a lot that can really hurt it. So that's a massive plus for me. If he's Life Orbed, then that means it does less than that. That means that he won't be able to kill me. If he is Choice Scarfed, then it will do even less. And that means that he has to then go for knockoffs, and he can't go for a Gunk Shot when he's already locked into knockoff. So that's always a plus. But realistically, this set is just there for Pangoro. If I can make him think that he can kill me with a Gunk Shot or a Poison Jab from Pangoro, I want to kill him with a Play Rough. That's all I want to do. This set is my safety net for Pangoro. I want to take the biggest threat, wrap it up, and take care of it in 1 mon realistically. Play Rough is for Pangoro, Knockoff is for Slowking. I'm not running any boosting attack at all in this thing, it's just max attack. And Knockoff still does 50% to a fully physically defensive Slowking, so that's really, really nice. Aqua Jet to Chandelure does about 60%, so if it's Life Orb or if it's Sub Calm Mind, which I'm hoping it's Sub Calm Mind, after 1 hit, or after 1 sub, it's almost in range of Aqua Jet, so that's really nice. Iron Tail's for Clefable. It does, I think, 70% to a max defensive Clefable, so that's really cool that I can kind of sort of hit it and I outspeed it, so it gets off a nice chunk of damage, and that's always preferred. But Knockoff is there just to get general hits off on things. This thing also outspeeds the vast majority of his walls. Well, not the vast majority. It outspeeds Mega Abomasnow, outspeeds Slowking, and it outspeeds Clefable, which are the things that I'm kind of most scared of on this team, aside from Pangoro. So it's really cool that this thing can outspeed his walls and do a lot of damage to his team. And like I said, I cannot stress this enough. This thing is mainly there for Pangoro. The only way that this thing will not get its job done is if it misses a play rough. And so help me Jesus, if it misses a play rough, I'm going to drop kick a kitten. No joke. But that's Azumarill. Very, very cool set this week. I like it a lot with the Kebi Berry. I think it'll come in handy. The next mon that I want to go over is Amoonguss. Amoonguss is... It's weird for this matchup because it can do a lot, but it also gets blown the fuck back by a lot. So I wanted it to be pretty defensive to kind of sort of take on Scizor. So I wanted max defense. Max defense over max HP because it's bulkier on the defensive side if you invest in max defense instead of max HP. I wanted enough special attack to 2-hit KO defensive Clefable with Sludge Bomb without any Calm Minds. So I went with that. Then I wanted enough speed to outspeed a little bit of an invested Slowking. So what I did was, since I'm running Hidden Power Fire, I have to invest 8 EVs to get it up to where Slowking is with his speed, and then I have to invest another 8, which brings me up to 16 EVs in speed to outspeed a non-invested Slowking at all. While that might seem a little arbitrary, it's really not when you think about it, because I want to be able to outspeed this thing 100% of the time, because I suck against Calm Mind bulky water types, and so help me Jesus, he's going to be bringing a bulky Calm Mind Slowking. He's going to. I suck at facing them. If he doesn't, I will be thoroughly shocked. So I'm making sure I can outspeed it and clear Smog it, and if I can clear Smog it, it gets rid of its Spadef, and then I have things that can kill it afterwards very easily. Also, because I'm so defensive, he cannot kill me with a Psyshock, so that's a really good thing, and then I can get off a Giga Drain, and I can hit it really hard. Hidden Power Fire is there just for the Scizor and the Mega Abomasnow. I have to be careful about spamming Hidden Power Fire, though, if I see Chandelure, because I do not want him to get a boost on his Fire-type attacks, so that's just a no thank you. Giga Drain also hits Rotom decently hard if he's physically defensive. If he's specially defensive, it does less, and then that means that my late game sweeper that I have that I don't think Stevo will see coming at all, it destroys its life, so that's really nice. But I really like this thing set. The leftover 4 EVs are in Spadef, because 156, 252, 80, and 16 equals 506. The last 4 EVs are into Spadef to make me a little bit more especially defensive. So, yeah. So that's a cool thing. But I really, really think that this thing is going to come in handy this week. I'm really excited for this Amoonguss set. Copa Berry. That is specifically for regular Scizor. If he is Choice Banded Aerial Ace, he cannot kill me at all. I can switch it on a Bullet Punch, find out his item. If he's banded, I will be able to know from the damage. If he is like Assault Vest or Aqua Berry or anything like that, it'll do a significantly less amount of damage, because for an Aerial Ace, he will not kill me. And then the amazing thing is, I can switch out, get my Regenerator back up, and then I can still take on the Slowking, as long as he has enough Psychic, as long as he has Psyshock, which I think he will be bringing Psyshock. That was a long-winded sentence. I'm out of breath now. But Amoonguss is really cool. It's really cool, this game. I really like it. I think that the Copa Berry will actually work, because if he doesn't bring Aerial Ace on his Mega Scizor, this thing can switch into it 100% of the time. And if I carry this thing with Rocky Helmet because I don't need to have leftovers or Black Sludge on it because of Regenerator, I can come in, get chip damage on it every single time. And that's awesome. So as of right now, I have covered basically the main things that I'm weak to in draft play. The Calm Mind Sweeper of Slowking and Clefable. Amoonguss deals with both of them decently well and allows me to take them out in other ways. Pangoro on this team, just Azumarill handles it pretty well. And Zygarde I can actually take on pretty decently with both of them. Can't really do a whole lot, and I can get off chip damage on them and allow me to go into other things to take it out later on. So his other offensive Pokemon that are really scary are Mega Abomasnow and Chandelure. So of course I am bringing Miltank. I'm bringing a mixed defensive Miltank with 244 in HP. I realize it says 255 on the layout. I'm sorry, it was late when I was making the layout. 244 in HP for an attack, 76 in defense, Impish Nature, 180 in special defense, and 4 in speed. He cannot 2-hit KO me with Chandelure or Abomasnow. He cannot do it. Choice Specs Energy Ball is the hardest thing that he can hit my Miltank with from the Chandelure. Does less than 50% guaranteed every single time. I'm carrying Earthquake just for that. If he is sub Calm Mind and thinks he can sub up on me, because normally these things run like Milk Drink, Heal Bell, Body Slam, and Stealth Rock. So if he thinks he can set up on me, no. Just no. I'm going to Earthquake it. It does about 50% every single time, so I will always break a sub, guaranteed, even if he's like max defensive, which is really nice. The Abomasnow, the hardest thing he can hit me with is a mild Wood Hammer. That still does not 2-hit KO me. Like a max attack, well, I'll say Adamant. Max attack Adamant Wood Hammer does not 2-hit KO my Miltank. And Fire Punch does 64% minimum every single time. So if he thinks that he can switch into his Chandelure on my Miltank expecting the Fire Punch, I'm going to Earthquake it, no matter what. And if he gets the Flash Fire boost from the Fire Punch, then whatever, Earthquake is going to be doing a decent chunk. Milk Drink is there for recovery, and Ice Punch is there for Zygarde. A +1 Outrage if I'm at full health cannot kill me, and Ice Punch does about 70% minimum. So I can really hurt his offensive threats with this. I can really wear them down very quickly with this Pokemon, depending on what he sends in and when he thinks he can get a good tight matchup. The really negative thing about this Pokemon specifically, I cannot touch Rotom. I cannot do it. However, I realize this. I'm okay with this. I had to go in with the mindset of not being able to touch Rotom, because Rotom is the least of my worries. I'm more worried about setup Zygarde, Pangoro, Mega Abomasnow sweeping my team, because Mega Abomasnow actually has a field day on my team, believe it or not. With his dual stab, he can hit a large portion of my team super effectively. And I was really worried about Clefable and Slowking and Chandelure, so I focused more on those, and I had to kind of sort of figure out other ways to deal with the Rotom. But that's Miltank. This set is specifically there for Mega Abomasnow and Chandelure. This thing will more than likely not be touching the field unless one of those two Pokemon come in. Oh, and by the way, Mega Abomasnow can't 2-hit KO me. That is including hail damage. So that's always nice. I'm really excited for this Miltank set. I put a lot of thought into this Miltank set because instantly I knew that this was going to be my win condition. Because if I can wear down his Mega Abomasnow and Chandelure, he's instantly set to go on the defensive, and I'm bringing the right amount of offense to deal with the defensive on his side. So that's always a plus. But I'm so excited for this Miltank set. I absolutely freaking love it. So, after this Miltank set, I kind of wanted to go a little bit more on the bulky offensive side. So I went with a Reuniclus. This is a Culver Berry Reuniclus with Magic Guard because Hail is a thing. I don't really see him getting up Stealth Rocks or Toxic Spikes, so I'm not really too worried about that. But Magic Guard is there mainly for Hail, even though it's really not that big of a deal. I'm considering changing it to Regenerator just to switch in my Amoonguss and my Reuniclus back and forth. I'm really considering it, but I'm not sure just yet. As I said, we're not battling for another like 8.5 hours, so that's really nice. But max defensive, obvious for the EV spread. It's there to just take hits and deal out hits. Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, that hits the vast majority of his team for at least neutral damage and for a good chunk. Psychic on the Clefable. I can't decide if I want Psyshock or Psychic. If he's Calm Mind Clefable, Psychic is less than ideal, but Psyshock still doesn't do as much because he'll be invested in defense. So then I kind of have to just go into my Moongus and Clear Smog it right away, or go into one of my next two mons to deal with it. But Focus Blast there just for Pangoro. If I bring this in on Pangoro, he cannot kill me with a knockoff through the Cobra Berry, and that means I'm just going to Focus Blast and hopefully hit it and do some massive damage. Like I said, Pangoro is a massive threat to my team. Pangoro, I think, is extremely underrated, and the fact that Stevo is using it this season is starting to bring out how scary it is in team building. So I'm really scared to face Pangoro. Like, I'm more scared of that than anything. I think I'm more scared of that than Manaphy, which is crazy for me. Because if you guys don't know, Manaphy is the #1 Pokemon I suck at facing. But very simple, very obvious. There's not a lot of calcs I had to do with this. I was like, just want you to be bulky all around. You're just going to take hits. This is also my designated switch into Slowking. This would be where Magikarp would be nice, because if he's going to Scald me, that means it won't do much, and if he's Calm Mind, then I can Shadow Ball, and eventually I will end up whittling it down to the point where he has to recover, and then I can go into other things and beat it differently. So that's always a plus. But I'm still not sure if I want Magikarp or Regenerator. It's a very tough decision for me, honestly. It's a very tough decision. But very simple. The next mon on the team is the newly acquired Eelektross with the Assault Vest. Max HP, max defense, 4 in defense, special defense. 4 in special attack, special defense, and speed. This Pokemon does a massive chunk to his team. This is where I'm kind of sort of debating on taking off U-Turn. But the moves are U-Turn, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Acid Spray. If I take off U-Turn, I'm going to put on Giga Drain, and that is just for Rotom. But granted, if I get the Acid Spray off on Rotom, because Rotom can't really touch me, like, at all. He can Will-O-Wisp me, but that's fine, I'm not physical. And then Acid Spray plus a Thunderbolt does about 80% to it. So it does a very large chunk to his team. Acid Spray is one way that I plan to deal with things like Slowking if they're setting up Calm Minds in my face, or more than likely Clefable on this, because that means Acid Spray is going to take it down to -2 special defense, which means I get to then Thunderbolt it if he is at -1 special defense. So eventually I will be winning that war, and that's always nice. Flamethrower is very obvious. He has 2 4x fire weaknesses. I need to exploit them. If I take off U-Turn, that means that Zygarde is a free switch into this thing every single time. Every single time. If I have U-Turn on this thing, I can sort of spam U-Turn until I figure out what his switch-ins to this are. So I'm really considering not putting Giga Drain on there and just going for Thunderbolt. And I think that might be the best option just because I don't want Zygarde to get a free switch in and then maybe set up in my face and beat me. That's scary. But I really like Eelektross in this game. I love Eelektross. Eelektross is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon in draft format. Him and Tornadus Therian are my 2 all-time favorites just because they're bulky pivots, and I really like bulky pivots in draft format, which is, I think, why I was doing so poorly because I didn't draft any. But, yeah, I love Eelektross. It's really awesome. It's a really awesome Pokemon. The final Pokemon on the team is the late-game sweeper that I was talking about earlier. The thing that if I take out one Mon on his team, I can blow holes in every other way. Blow. I swear I'm not 12. And that is the newly acquired Garchomp. Choice Banded Jolly Garchomp. 44 in HP, 252 attack, 4 in defense and special defense, and 204 in speed. I outspeed everything on his team. Aside from Scarfers. Everything on his team is outsped by this. Outrage, Iron Head, Earthquake, Fire Fang. If Rotom doesn't show up, he has no ground immunities, I can spam Choice Banded Earthquake. If Clefable doesn't show up, he has no dragon immunities, I can spam Outrage. If Chandelure does not show up, I can spam Fire Fang until I get the switch into the snow thingy, the Abomasnow. And if he does bring Clefable, I have Iron Head. He cannot switch in on this thing if I go for Earthquakes or if I'm going for Iron Heads. This is the ultimate late game cleaner. If I see what he has left, I can lock myself into a move and just destroy everything. Nothing on his team takes less than 75% from this thing. Nothing. I needed a Choice Banded Garchomp just to be able to sweep up late game. I was really debating between this and Swords Dance, but If I go for Swords Dance, I need to have sub just so that way it forces in the Mega Abomasnow, and if I force in the Mega, I'm sorry. And if I force in the Mega Abomasnow, Ice Shard is so obvious, and then I won't have room for Fire Fang because I'll be lacking Iron Head, Earthquake, or Outrage, and I need Outrage for stab, I need Iron Head for Clefable, I need Earthquake for everything else, just for general stab to hit things, if I don't see Rotom. But this is insane, this match. If I take out one thing, if I take out Rotom, I'm going to EQ the entire world. If I take out Clefable, I'm going to Outrage the entire world. I'm so excited for this. A good buddy of mine named Vertilet. I'm actually not even sure if he still watches my videos, but Vertilet is one of my all-time favorite people in draft format, just because he uses Garchomp so well. And I remember he was facing Erik, Ashton Akai in the LBA, and he brought Choice Banded Garchomp, waited till the very end of the game, sent it in, went for Outrage, and just blew through. I think it was 4 of Erik's Pokemon. It might have been 3. I think so. But this thing is a threat to Stevo's team. He needs to save his Mega Abomasnow just for this. So I'm really banking on that. But that's the team. That is the team that I have planned for Necro Stevo and the Eterna City Enders. I'm really excited for it. I really like the changes that I made to my draft. I'm a little depressed to see Flygon and Persian go, because I was really enjoying using them. However, I'm going to have more fun using Garchomp and Electros. I really am. But with all that being said, I'll be leaving a few links in the description below. The first link will be a link to... The first link will be a link to Stevo. I strongly suggest you guys go check out his content. His voice will make you jizz. He's a fantastic person. He's honestly one of the most genuine people in the Pokemon community. I love Necro Stevo. I've always liked his content too. I was subscribed to him a long time ago before I even knew him in the LBA. Then when he got into the LBA, I was like, oh, that's awesome. The second link is going to be Erik, Ashton Akai. He is a very good friend of mine. I've known him for a very long time. He is very close to 200 subscribers. If you guys do not subscribe to Erik, I would really appreciate if you would go get him to 200 subscribers. He totally deserves it more than so many people in the community, and I think that you guys will not regret it. He has some amazing series, and I would really appreciate if you guys would go check him out for me. Just a little bit of support for my friend would be awesome. But I'm going to go and get on out of here. I got to go get prepped for this game, and I still have to actually record my transfer video because I haven't even done that yet, but I'm going to go and get on out of here. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.